When I need space, that's where I go. A place to escape that nobody knows, where I feel free to let things go and face this evil that burdens my soul. I bring my hatred, I pack my pain, all the emotions I cannot explain. It's where I found God and filled that hole. It's He, myself, and I on that lonely dirt road. I needed somewhere to take my mistakes. I didn't want my family to see me cry. They'll never know I'm carrying all of this weight, dealing with the pressure of trying to provide. No sign of struggle can show on my face. They ask if I'm okay, I just flash them a smile. Fire up that engine to take me away. I'm speeding through emotions with every mile. On that road is where I find my peace. I remember Daddy told me about some times like these. On that road is where my mind's at ease. I keep driving life away, rejecting change. So when I need space, that's where I go. A place to escape that nobody knows, where I feel free to let things go and face this evil that burdens my soul. I bring my hatred, I pack my pain, all the emotions I cannot explain. It's where I found God and filled that hole. It's He, myself, and I on that lonely dirt road. I tried my best to plant the seeds, and then I watered everything that was in my life. But as a man, the only flowers that you get are when you're 6 feet under on the day you die. I think I feel the pain my father felt, it's finally sinking in. Looking back, all I see is his eyes. He said that house is not a home unless you build it on respect, with some kids and a loving wife. If these walls could talk, I'd bet they'd say it's all my fault, that I don't try hard, that I ain't man enough, that I ain't standing up, that I just burn everything that my hands touch. Whoa. If these walls could talk, I'd bet they'd say I'm to blame, that I'm the one who put myself inside of all of these chains, that my addictive personality's what ran them away, and that I hurt myself by staying quiet and not explain. And now I'm broken in places I can't even see. I know there's gotta be a heaven, cause the hell that's in me is taking a dangerous toll that I'm paying with all of my soul. When I need space, that's where I go. A place to escape that nobody knows, where I feel free to let things go and face this evil that burdens my soul. I bring my hatred, I pack my pain, all the emotions I cannot explain. It's where I found God and filled that hole. It's He, myself, and I on that lonely dirt road.
Out of the depths I cry to you. Lord, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to my cry for mercy. God, can you hear me? I'm silently screaming, I can't let it show on my face. My addictions are beating me down. I bottle them all that I chase. I'm at war with the man that I am. The man who I was doesn't relate to the man that I'm trying to become, who can carry all this weight. I struggle expressing emotion. I'm lonely with people around. I'm losing the fight with depression. My head is somewhere in the clouds. I'm broken and searching for peace, but it's nowhere to be found. I'm not ashamed to say I need you right now. God, can you hear me? I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, barely breathing, covered and soaked in my blood. I'm broken, I'm weak, can't stand on my feet. I'll give you my all, just answer me please. God, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Today's the day I finally bow and give you my all. I fought against temptation, but it's getting too strong. I'm a slave to my flesh and my bones have been broken by casted stone. So I'm crying out and praying that your grace can catch my fall. I can't see down this road, so I'm walking by faith. The shackles they've placed on my feet will not break. I'm weak and I need strength. The blood you shed and gave to wash all these stains on my spirit away. God, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, barely breathing, covered and soaked in my blood. I'm broken, I'm weak, can't stand on my feet. I'll give you my all, just answer me please. God, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? And if you can, could you show me a sign? Give me something to grab, a glimmer of hope. I'm right on the edge of a mountain of grief, and my sin is a slippery slope. I'm fighting with demons, they're pulling me under. I'm barely staying afloat. I swam to religion, needed connection. But the location's remote. An island of truth sustained by beautiful lies. They dress it in tolerance, alter the words to fit in with modern day times. They painted your picture, left out details, scribbled in blurred all the lines. If I'm made in your image, then why do I hate it when I look myself in the eyes? God, do you hear me? My pain is speaking. Show me you love me. I want to see it, touch it, hear and feel it. I'm dying to live. What is my purpose? How do I go about seeking it? It's hell on earth. It's so, I think I'm knee deep in it. I walk through the valley of shadow of death. The devil haunts and counts my steps. I believe that you exist. I just hate the hand I'm dealt. I'm tired. I'm sick. God, I'm begging. I need help. Heal my body, soul, and mind. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. God, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, barely breathing, covered and soaked in my blood. I'm broken, I'm weak, can't stand on my feet. I'll give you my all, just answer me please. God, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, Cletus.
What is it? What is it?
What in the world are you doing?
Lordy mercy. You know, all these idiots around here think money grows on trees. We fixed to find out.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
Got 100 on you?
Yeah.
Let me have it. Let's see. All right. There we go. All right, fill her up. I gotta get me something to drink.
All right.
Fill her up. Let's see if it works.
Okay, sounds good to me.
All right, I'll be back.
All right. Oh, we're gonna be rich. Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, all the names in this song were changed to protect the guilty. My buddy Tommy owes back taxes, and Timmy's truck just got repoed. And good old Andy, he's a dandy, except he loves that nose candy. All his rent goes right up his nose. I got some broke-ass friends I'm getting sick and tired of. They don't pay their bills and some are close to bankrupt. So when they hear I'm here, I'm like their ATM. When I go back home, I got some broke-ass friends. How about you? Ladies and gentlemen, Ginger Billy. My buddy Peter's out of propane, as usual. So he sits at home in the freezing cold. And my friend Mort, he stays in court, always behind on child support. Man, I swear, from 15 years ago, I got some broke-ass friends I'm hearing way too much from. Gonna keep hitting me up till I'm the one that's bankrupt. When they hear I'm here, it's like a lottery win. Yeah, when I go back home, I got some broke-ass friends, but they're cool. Y'all need to get out and get a job, sell Coke bottles. Do something. I can't keep an olive engine up. Got 3 kids. I got a friend needing braces. Can you help me out, bro? I had to tell him just to keep his mouth closed. I got some broke-ass friends, they can't afford a can of snuff. Taking all of my cigs, hell, I can't get me a puff. Yeah, I love them, dear, but I'm not their ATM. When I go back home, I got some broke-ass friends. Yeah, I do. Half of y'all need to lose my number. Y'all know I've been divorced 3 or 4 times. I ain't got no money left. They're in pretty good shape for the shape that they're in. Yeah, it won't be long till I'm one of them broke-ass friends. Hey, Ginger Billy, you wouldn't slide me a couple of $1,000, would you? Well, I can't do that, but my grandma's got an EBT card with $400 on it. Beggars can't be choosy.
Shouldn't have planned it to start with. I told you to begin with.
Well, you're the one that put the dollar in the ground.
All right, let's light it and get out of here.
All right.
Got any money? Got any dollars? Got it? What you got? I don't want that in my hand. Let's go.
Tip.
Go. Oh, look at there. More money, no more problems. Let's go.
May you
throwing it?
Oh, yeah.
Go. Oh.
I bet we won't have anybody else come by.
We won't see another friend over here the rest of our lives. Nope. Just like that.
You know what? It's a big relief already.
Yep, I feel better, don't you?
Yeah, I ain't got nobody begging me for money no more.
Let's go eat.
Let's go.
I ain't got no money.
No, me neither.
All right, we'll see y'all.
We got pretty.
Yeah, EBT.
Yeah.
All right.
Truck gang, 2020. Everybody loves a truck. Your mama really loves my trucks. I hit them back roads riding in my big truck, man. When I see another truck, I make a T with my hand. Cause if you riding like me, I wanna show you I care. Unless you drive a ridge line and you can suck on a pair. Cause if you drive a real truck, man, you're alright with me. But if you squat your truck, I bet you squat when you pee. So if you're out and about and you like what you see, throw your hands in the air in the shape of a T. Truck gang, we don't drive no cars, man. Throw the T up in the air if you reppin' truck gang, we don't drive no cars, man. Throw the T up in the air if you reppin' truck gang. If you riding down the road and you pass another truck, put the T up in the air and throw the truck gang up. I'm going real fast and I'm swerving lane to lane with my hands out the window and I'm yelling truck gang. I got them 35s, man, them things throw dirt. Every time I hit the gas, I hear the truck go skirt. It can be a Nissan or a Ford or a Chevy. It can be a light duty or it can be a heavy. You can jack the thing up or you can drop it down low. I'm like a backwards ass muffler, I'm the master of flow. I got a thick chick in the back and she shaking that thing with her hands out the window and she yelling truck gang. We don't drive no cars, man. Throw the T up in the air if you reppin' truck gang. We don't drive no cars, man. Throw the T up in the air if you reppin' truck gang. We don't drive no cars, man. Throw the T up in the air if you reppin' truck gang. We don't drive no cars, man. Throw the T up in the air if you reppin' truck gang. Truck gang.
All right, I think we got a. Yep, there it is. There it is. Sweet. Okay. All right. All right. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Everything is fixed. I just had to reset the OBS. All right. So, all right. Welcome Rumble, welcome YouTube, and welcome Twitch. Sorry about the little hiccup. I, haven't been doing this for a while, so the equipment's just been sitting here. So we're gonna talk about quite a few things today. Well, no. So we're gonna start this off very simple. There's been a lot going on with the gaming industry. We've had a lot of bad news, and to be honest with you, it's kind of sad. We've had, but there's also been good news. I'm not saying it's all been bad news. We've had 2 months of nothing but bad news to come into finally getting good news, and that being from Xbox and Valve. So, which is it's good, but there's also negatives to everything that's been happening. We all know PlayStation. I made my video a little bit ago now about PlayStation removing physical discs. People are still holding their ground with that, and you guys absolutely should. We should all be holding PlayStation accountable for their actions. The only thing that's going to make them fucking realize what they did wrong is by speaking with your wallet. Once you do that, eventually they'll fall in place like they should. But so we've got that. Nintendo lost pretty much every single one of the patents they wanted to do on Palworld. Palworld 1.0 is killing it right now. Holy shit. I think the Steam numbers are pretty high. Yeah, they're currently at they're got 446,000 players. At all time peaked at 2 million, but it's still that's like that's a lot. And whether that's after the 1.0 release. I love watching little companies stick it to fucking Sony or one of the big corporations like Nintendo. So they lost like most of their patents. They only were able to get one through, and that's the act of like the ball catching a monster release type of deal. So they had to change that up, but everything else didn't work. The problem with Nintendo is they thought they were going to grab patents for things that were already invented before they even made games, or before they made it, or before they used it, other people had already used it. So at the end of the day, they lost massively, and it was funny to see a corporation get what it deserves. Also, they ended up doing a lawsuit to the U.S. government over the tariffs, and instead of giving the consumers back the money that because okay, remember, Nintendo didn't eat the cost of the tariffs. You know what they did? They increased the prices of everything so that the customer, they're going to move away from calling the consumer, because customers pay with their wallet or speak with the wallet. They put the cost onto the consumer, and so they never actually ate the cost for the tariffs, and that's the part they don't. No one are. And that's what I don't think they really understand. What the fuck? Really? It's been over a month since I made anything on you guys, and you're still obsessing over me. I'm not mentioning any names. You know who you are. this is what I'm going to do because it looks like someone had their number changed. Oh. Session. Keep trying. All right. No, not doing that, man. I'm done with that fucking shit. I've said it multiple times that I wanted to be done, and we are done. So we're moving on to bigger and better things. But no, Power World has got a. Okay, so let's pull this up here. So Power World is right now absolutely like they're doing a really good fucking job when it comes down to it. I get it, but at the end of the day, I'm done. Like I personally don't care, and like it is a great part of the show, but the problem is I know those dweebs are gonna do stupid shit, and I'd rather not get my family or my loved ones caught up in that bullshit. So we're gonna just move forward, move on, and live our lives. But so we got the player count here for Pal World, and like I said, they're just absolutely wrecking it. They're doing a really good job. I get it, but I'm not gonna give what would be a good term. I'm not gonna give narcissistic stalkers that kind of opportunity because I guess if it was like someone I actually wanted to talk to or wanted to bring have a conversation with, that'd be fine. But the fact that it's just someone I'd rather just not deal with, like I said, there's more important things in life than dealing with some fucking drama on the internet. So at the end of the day, it's just it's done. Um, I've already blocked the number, so he can keep calling as much as he wants. I no one cares about Power World. Really? So 449,000 people, that's nobody. Not to mention everyone has got their eyes on this game right now due to the fact that it's an independent studio that literally rocked the hell out of fucking Nintendo. You got to remember, I'm always going to be for when independent studios beats the corporation. But so yeah, no, they're absolutely killing it. They're doing a really good job over there. It's a great game. I've played it myself, and I would suggest you guys go and try it if you guys like survival games and you like Pokemon. Knock yourselves out. It's a great game. All right, let's get into the fanboy stuff. It's not a kid's game, dude. I don't. How many kid games have fucking guns? Jesus fucking Christ. Tell me you haven't played it without telling me you haven't played it. Yeah. All right. All right. We got to start it up good. You got to start it with Porter Rock. Because here we go. Another corpo simp. Kissing PlayStation's ass, not actually acknowledging the problem that is at hand when it comes to what PlayStation is doing. Not a single physical game this year sold 270K. Yeah, I'm done with this topic. Good luck in your fight. Wish you best. Moving on. I see what you tried to do. We're gonna because we don't allow a certain word into the chat, and you're trying to find workarounds on some words. There's an easy fix for this. Like, just like, I don't get how you just don't accept the fact that people just enjoy the game. Like, I enjoy the game. Like, there's other people who have as well. Oh, is it? That I did not know. Okay, we'll fix that then. As long as it's not. There you go. What we're getting at, anyways, is that we've got again PlayStation fanboys defending Nintendo or PlayStation no matter what they fucking do. Here we go again with Porter Rock defending PlayStation. No, it doesn't. Okay, you got to remember it peaked at 2 million players. But it will hold its own. But because it's not a it's competing with Nintendo. Like, stop giving Nintendo an excuse. Yeah, because Nintendo lost. They got their asses handed to them to an independent studio, proving to again what people actually want. They don't want to be fed the same fucking slop over and over. They want something new. They want stuff with gameplay. They want to actually enjoy their fucking video games rather than having some shit pushed down their goddamn throat all the goddamn time. Not everything has to be some over the shoulder action adventure with stealth elements and fucking what was it? Heavy story and no gameplay. That's just no. Those games suck. Like, the thing is, like, I enjoy some old Assassin's Creed, so I can't say they all suck. Like, the AAA space is just shit now. Like, where it's at is the indie developers, and they're proving themselves. They really are. They're standing out a lot. Like Mecha Chameleon, made by literally two people who were bored, for $5 a fucking game, sold like, what was it, like millions of fucking copies of that game. So like, it's happening all over. Anyways, back to Porter Rock. So Porter Rock, you're saying, first off, you're saying that 270,000, or not even, or this year sold 270K. So again, you're proving the point. Like, you're still defending the fact. I don't think you realize by what if PlayStation, because PlayStation will go through this. I'm more than likely sure that they'll end up going through with this. If they don't, they'll surprise me. But the thing is, if PlayStation were to, or okay, once PlayStation removes these games, you have only one place to buy your PlayStation games. So which means, guess who controls the pricing? PlayStation. Guess who's going to milk you for every penny? PlayStation. And all you're going to do is sit there and defend them? You're not even defending the consumer at this point. Like, you're against the consumer. Like, your posts like this prove that to us. You need options. And I know I'm going to get it. Okay, I'm a PC guy. I play on PC. So what do I have a stake in this? Why do I have a say in this? Because PC and console are two different things. Okay. On PC, you have multiple storefronts. You don't have to pay for online, and you're not milked for every penny. And you have proper ownership in the digital space. Console, you do not. And in particular, PlayStation, who has already removed movies from people's libraries. So they're already doing it, and you're going to defend that? Like, I don't get how these fanboys can defend PlayStation's actions. Like, this is blatant bootlicking behavior. Like, it's pretty much you want everyone to consume what you consume. You want them to do the way you do things. That's not how the way to do it. Understand the broader situation and not just sit in your little bubble, because you got to realize that this is not a good thing. Not one bit is this a good thing for the industry. Um oh my god. Okay. Right, let's see what we got here. Here we got FF Soul Addict. Okay. He says the failed boycott made Sony lose a few thousand PS Plus subs. After BO1/BO2, they gained 7 million more. Okay. That's just telling me that people will consume whatever makes them feel comfortable. The boycott is still happening. And you got to make PlayStation hurt. When you don't fucking fight back, they will take your rights away as a consumer. They will literally milk you dry. Yeah, I think they should too, and they probably will be getting removing it with the next console. Okay, but the point so what I'm getting at here, okay, just because Black Ops 1 and 2 remasters are successful, that just shows that the game, it's people's nostalgia. Is literally all it is. It's nothing more than that. So at the end of the day, the boycott isn't over. Like, I don't know where you think the boycott is over. And I don't think these fanboys realize what will happen once PlayStation goes all digital. See, Xbox, love them or hate them, I think they're a greedy corporation like the rest, but at least are being more pro consumer when it comes to the situation. At least they're giving the option to take the disc, put it in the console, and turn it into a digital code. Okay? Which is one plus. On top of that, their next console isn't going to be a console, it's a PC hybrid, which means it's going to be literally reliant on the many storefronts that exist on PC. So again, PC's all digital anyways. Well, mostly. You can still make discs and you can have disk drives of any of your games, by the way. Both Steam, Epic, both allow you to put your games onto a disc and put them in your PC and play them. This is a thing, which doesn't exist on console. But at the end of the day, what it does though is Xbox they'll have to compete. Where in a closed ecosystem like on PlayStation, they don't have to compete. And see, that's where things get good, because we're going to have Xbox competing with Valve, competing with Steam. And I don't know about you, competition means better for the consumer. And they will be competing not on exclusives. Okay, get this. They'll be competing on service. Who can provide the best service? Like, you think that people aren't going to jump to PC when it comes to next gen? They're already doing it now. They're talking about it now. Like, everything you can do on a console, you can do on a PC plus more. It's insane how much you can actually do on a PC. And there's like, well, the plug and play, plug your controller in. We could do that on PC too. You can play with keyboard and mouse. I'm gonna be honest with you, there's certain games you don't want to play with keyboard and mouse. No. Like trying to play Forza Horizon or any of the Forza games using keyboard and mouse, no thank you. But like, that's the point I'm getting at. If you guys prefer using a controller, that's fine. On the PC, you have that option. You want the plug and play. That is also an option on PC now. Whether on either one of them, either it being Windows or it being on Linux. So, like, I built my own Steam machine out of old hardware, which just got scrapped for another thing. But that's beside the point. I just wasn't using it. It was literally just sitting there gathering dust because I'm still playing on this rig. But what I'm saying is like, the console's cooked. Like I think Nintendo and PlayStation don't realize it, but their time is limited now. And it's going to shrink more and more. And I hate to say this, but if PlayStation keeps going on the route they're going, they're going to go the way of Sega. And literally all we're going to see from them in the next 10, or probably in the next 10 years, 10 to 20 years, is nothing more than games on other platforms. And we're heading towards that more and more because PlayStation doesn't want to realize things are kind of changing around here. And on top of that, people want consumer rights. Like, I don't understand how PlayStation doesn't get that. But then again, it's a greedy corporation who only cares about their bottom dollar. And trust me, there's been enough greed going on in that corporation for the last week. The fact that they went on total silence. Okay? They're not speaking anything about the situation, and it's because they knew the backlash they would get. And they're still going through with it. They know it's not for the consumer. They know it's for their pocketbook. They did it purposely because they want complete control. The problem is, the gaming industry ain't letting them have it. So what they'll do, because they can't get, they lost all those users, it'll get worse for them in so many different ways. Because they won't grow, and they will milk the fuck out of you. Your games will keep going up, your services will keep going up, and they will never, and the consoles would keep going up. Yeah, I know we're all hoping this AI bubble pops, but do you think these consoles are going to drop once that thing pops and RAM comes back to being available for everyone? I don't think so. I think the RAM prices will drop, but I don't think these consoles will drop. I think they'll stay at those price points. That's scary. Yeah. All right. We're going to start with Harmon Smith because for some reason he thinks Pal World is doomed. Okay, Harmon, let's see what you got to say. Uh, I swear to God, I think I get brain damage every time I fucking watch him.
It's kind of remarkable the lengths that other YouTubers have gone in trying to pretend that Power World is some huge success. I've talked about this extensively, but Steam player counts are not a reliable metric for how relevant a game is. Okay, the official numbers released by Power World are
Okay. 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 So we're going to use your beloved console as a comparison for the Steam numbers. Okay. So Switch 2 has an install base of 172.96 million units. The Valve Steam Deck is estimated roughly 5.6 units. So they're not, I'm talking about users. Okay. So you're saying a metric for 936 million players compared to 140 million on Nintendo isn't a good metric to use. That's like the amount. There's more. If you combined all three consoles, you still wouldn't beat the user base on PC. The gaming user base. I don't think you realize this, and I've destroyed you on this multiple fucking times, and you still doubled down on it. You've even seen my fucking content, so I know you've seen it. I hope you guys can see that. Because this again proves my fucking point. Yes, those metrics are very usable. Okay? It is insane how many players they've gotten, especially for an indie studio. That's where people are coming from. They're looking at this from an indie studio point perspective, not a Nintendo corporation perspective. Okay, this is the difference between a small indie studio compared to a publicly traded corporation. You understand the difference between the two, don't you? Because for some reason it seems you don't.
Are unrealistic. They can't be real. And more we're seeing signs that everything Pocket Pair has done is nothing more than a smokescreen. At this stage, I believe
It's a smokescreen. They beat Nintendo in the courtroom. What? It's a smokescreen. All they have done is a smokescreen. No, it's not like they just literally exposed how corrupt Nintendo is. Oh my god. Nintendo wouldn't be scared of them if it was just a smokescreen. Let's be honest there.
Power World is a pump and dump scheme in which the leadership is going to jump to another company and just allow the company to take the fall for just everything they've done. And they've done quite.
They've done a lot of damage to Nintendo. Like, that's what it comes down to. Nintendo got humbled. The problem is they're just doubling down on their corrupt or their greed. Like, there's no other term to use for Nintendo. Nintendo lost. I don't understand how you don't see that. And that's the funniest thing about this is instead of Nintendo wanting to act, or first off, instead of Nintendo actually just competing, they rather just throw lawsuits at it. Nintendo doesn't want to compete. They want to do what they can do without having to compete with anyone. They don't want competition. Fucking Harmon.
A lot wrong over the past couple of years. I don't believe Power World was ever intended to be a long-term viable product.
Long-term viable product. Its 24-hour peak was 747,000 players. Okay. It's got a 56,000 24-hour peak. On average, around 31,000 viewers on Twitch. It's got here we go. Here's another one. Owners estimated about 14.72 million. One. VG Insight says 24.76 million. And they're averaging right around fucking 50,000 players on average. Like, I don't know how that's a... Yes, man. Yes, man.
Do think this is something that is just basically the video game equivalent of a crypto scam.
Except for they're actually giving you an actual product. You do realize this, right? They're giving you a product that's better than the current Pokemon games. That's the difference. The problem is you Nintendo fanboys can't actually see that. All you want to say is, "Oh, it's a Pokemon clone." It is so much different than Pokemon in so many different ways. What Nintendo wants to do is just give you slop and you guys buy it. Sadly, there's always going to be those fanboys who will literally just sit there and buy it.
If you look at what Pocket Pair has been doing ever since Power World hit early access, none of it really makes any sense. They're not building their own cohesive brand. They're not really trying to develop an actual functioning video game. I'm
gonna be honest with you, Power World was more complete than most games I've played recently. Like most 1.0 releases now are broken. This game is actually complete. Yeah, it's got some bugs here and there, but every game's got fucking bugs. I can remember games going all the way back to the original Xbox and PS2 had bugs. Hell, even further back. Like, this is nothing new in the gaming industry. This is something that's always been a thing. Okay? And a lot of those bugs had to do with Unreal Engine 4. But, hey.
Priority has always been to antagonize Nintendo fans and to try and rally people behind their Pokemon killer. Now, their Pokemon.
No one has ever called it a Pokemon killer. The only people who call it the so-called Pokemon killer was Nintendo and you fanboys. That's it. Pal World was never advertised as a Pokemon killer. I don't know where you got this. And every time a company has done that, has failed. Well, the one I can think of is the one that was supposed to be the GTA killer. That was a complete scam.
Killer is doomed to fail and it's not going to go anywhere. But that's not the point. The idea is to gaslight companies like Tencent, like Sony, into investing in them to try and generate a profit based on this idea that
they're generating a profit, all right. Try to generate a profit. They are generating a profit. I don't know how you don't understand that. If it wasn't profitable, it wouldn't be where it's at today. It wouldn't have the player count that it has. It wouldn't have had a 1.0 release. They made all that money on their game on their own. You realize that, right? They had no big company backing them. They had no support from any AAA studio. And that's the thing you don't seem to understand. You think that this indie development team is some big corp. It's a bad indie. Indie teams are so bad. No. Indies teams are the ones actually creating good games right now. They're the ones making the games that we want to play. I don't see how you don't understand this.
they can hypothetically compete with Pokemon.
What is Pokemon's? Do any of you guys know what the current Pokemon game is? No. World will never be able to compete with Pokemon due to the fact that it's been around forever. On top of that, you guys all buy the fucking game as soon as it launches. Even if it's a fucking bad game. Now, sales numbers, that's another story. Because they've actually been competing with Pokemon in that department. So Oh, wow. This is why they're so mad, guys. This is it right here. Oh, that's pretty sad. Okay. That's pretty sad. Look at this. Palworld is number 2 out of all the Pokemon games. It is outbeaten every single fucking Pokemon game to boot except for 2. Like, this is why they're mad. You said, did he not say? Did he not say the Pal World can't compete with Pokemon? It obviously is. Because the current Pokemon games, it outsold. Think about that for a second. You guys didn't support the devs enough. Oh, God. All this does is just proves the point. Like, and this is how I beat it. Okay. Again, more places. That is actually fucking funny. That's funny. It's sad. I feel bad for you, fucking fanboys. You ain't coming back from that. An indie studio hurt Nintendo so bad that their games sold more than their Pokemon games. This dude. All right, we'll be back.
I wish I knew how to whistle. I wish I knew how to whistle. Understand, boy. Back in our day, me and this man here, we was stallions.
Oh, yeah.
And we went for the thick ones.
They used to call me Go Get 'em. Cause I would go get 'em.
Hell, you really got mercy.
That's a big old butt.
Mercy, that's a big old butt, big old butt. Sitting high like a 35. I'm a pickup truck. Get loose. Crazy dukes in your boots. And it's wide like a Lapotage. So I like you. Whoa there, take a look at that booty. I'd say it was a wagon, but it's more like a dually. And I ain't really catch your name, howdy doody. You ain't even gotta tell me, I'ma call you Super Duty. Yellow tape, cause it's a whole wide load. Shorty got a dump truck, plus a whole backhoe. They don't make them like you, they must have broke the mold. If you ain't working with enough, then you can go get some more. Let's go, we can go for a ride. I wanna be beside you in my side by side. Or we can hit the boat, you had a time of our life. Head to Old Town Road just as long as I drive. Yippee-ki-yay, yeah, I like them kind of thick, so what more can I say? And it's sitting up nice like 2 bales of hay. And if you got what I like, this is what I say. Have mercy, that's a big old butt. Sitting high like a 35. I'm a pickup truck. Get loose. Crazy dukes in your boots. And it's wide like a Lapotage. So I like you. Whoa, that booty big like house. If you don't get what I'm saying, that's a big exhaust. She don't really like workers, only deal with the boss. See the doctor in Miami, girl, how much that cost? Man, that butt on par. Wanna grip it like my tires, gripping on hot tar. Gonna climb in my truck, we don't drive no car. Booty clapping like a Cummins, girl, you got horsepower.
Your mama did you right. Fed you 3 times a day, plus you snack at night. I'm talking chicken and your taters, that's an appetite. And when you're putting on them leggings, girl, that thing look right. Yoga bricks. Yippee-ki-yay, yeah, I like them kinda thick. Swing that thing my way. With a booty like that, what you want, I'll pay. Cause if you got what I like, this is what I say.
Have mercy. That's a big old butt. Big old butt. Sitting high like a 35s. I'm a pickup truck. Get it loose. Crazy dupes in your boots. And it's wide like a Lapotage. So I like you.
I like my dually. What's nephew? Where's the rail at? He's probably you see that? He's taking him to get some ice cream. That's a nice That's fella. A good boy. That's a good kid right there.
Hey! What's the problem?
She's stuck.
Yes, you stuck. You got straight tires. You ain't got no grip. You see that truck right there? Look.
Yeah?
It's mud grips.
Yeah?
Yeah. All my trucks got mud grips on them. Man. Truck gang. All my trucks got mud grips on them. Truck gang.
All right, we're back. All right, just had to fill my water bottle and then take a piss. All right.
They're not so much looking to produce a product as they are trying to lure in investors, trying to get people to invest in their company and in their brand to try.
Fucking dumbass. It is not a publicly traded company. Because this man doesn't go off facts at all. And, you know, it's not like it's easy to fucking research this shit before you make a fucking video. Pocket Pair, the company that made Pokemon. Pocket Pair is not a publicly traded company. It is a private Japanese game development and publishing studio based in Japan, best known for creating Power World. According to multiple industry reports, Pocket Pair has no intentions of becoming publicly listed and remains an independent, privately owned business. Its shares are not traded on any stock exchange, so retail investors cannot buy Pocket Pair stock. The company has been open to acquisition offers, but as of now, it is focusing on staying independent while continuing to develop and publish its games. So they're open to the option. but they're probably going to want a good price tag. Again, there's one guy who runs this company, and two guys made a fucking video game that absolutely destroyed Pokemon. That is what you're upset about. They put Nintendo in their fucking place.
Try and get the grift off the ground, because this is a company that by no means can produce anything of value. Everything they do is ripped off from something else.
They only have one fucking game. Yeah. Do you know how many fucking... Okay, you say everything ripped off from something else. You know how many games were inspired by others? Nobody tell him what inspired Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. Nobody tell him. Let him find out for himself. Oh, it's not like they were inspired by the fact that open world RPGs were at the top of their game at a time, and games like the Elder Scrolls franchise, Witcher, and many others didn't inspire them at all, even though there's literally signs or tells within the game that tell you that, yeah, these games are inspired by others. This is nothing new. This is a normal fucking thing. How about the fact that the whole entire concept of Zelda was inspired based off a fucking old DOS game back in the day where you fought a wizard. And it was like all you did was type. And that was inspired by fucking, what was it? Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I don't get how you don't understand this. Like, all this stuff was inspired by something else. That's how the entire world runs. What, you think Elon Musk went to space for no reason? No, because he was inspired of what happened already. Like, that's how games are made. That's how the whole world runs. That's how movies are made. That's how music is made. Like, I don't see how you don't understand that.
And that's very apparent simply by looking at their output and everything they've been doing.
Hell, fucking even Pokemon was inspired by Magic the Gathering. I believe. Yes. Magic the Gathering is older than Pokemon. So again, it proves my point. So everything gets inspired by something else. This is just how the world works, dude. The moment you figure this out, the better off you're going to be.
Over the past couple of years. So what have they spent the past couple of years doing? Well, while their views and their player numbers were in the toilet, they were trying to hype up this idea that 1.0 would revolutionize Power World, that it would be bigger than Pokemon, that it would outperform Pokemon, that they were more...
They never said that, but they've definitely done that. See, I don't see how you're not seeing that. Did you not pay attention to anything before the game was launched or before it was in pre-release or anything about the game or the developers or like trailers or anything? Did you not pay attention to any of that? Nothing in there was about being a Pokemon killer. Nothing.
Successful than Pokemon now, and that very obviously wasn't true right from the get-go. Okay, I talked about this on...
It's not more successful than Pokemon IP, but it is more successful than most of the Pokemon. Like currently, it is more successful than the current Pokemon games. Yes. I know the truth hurts your feelings.
My website. By the way, I fired up a new website, harmansmithbooks.com, in which I went over like World's misrepresentation of their actual numbers. They say they have 40 million players and try and imply that that's the same thing as 40 million sales, but that simply isn't true. Like, the simple fact of the matter is, Pokemon outperforms World by having more actual players who put more money down on the product. You know, people.
Yeah, multi-billion-dollar company. Again, just on Steam alone, they sold fucking 24 million. They've outsold like most of fucking Pokemon games. The only two they haven't outsold were the originals. The original three. Outside of that, they've outsold every single fucking one. I don't see how you don't see that. And I don't see how you don't understand that. What happened is Nintendo got put in their fucking place. You stop defending this corporation and fucking realize what's at, like, what pocket pair an independent company, an independent studio with money that comes out of their own pocket, not fucking investors. The fact that they were able to do what they did was impressive. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know how you don't seem to understand this. How many independent studios can you actually say how many independent studios do you know that can actually say that they have outsold most of the Pokemon games? Or outsold most of a AAA game franchise? Name one. I'm waiting. That's right, because it's never happened. Well, no, it probably has. We'd have to go look back. But you got to realize that the only reason why indie games are doing better now than they have in the past is due to the internet. Without the internet, indie games would not do well at all.
Don't understand this, but because Pokemon is releasing at full price, obviously World would have to sell itself at.
Games aren't worth fucking $80. They're not worth 70. They're not worth 60. 50 at max. The games where they're priced, it's too high. Like, there's so much shit going on in this world. Why is it that we gotta be fucking gouged in our hobby? We shouldn't. I'm telling you that right now. Okay? I don't think any game is worth an $80 price tag. I don't think any game is worth a $70 price tag or a $60 price tag. These games come out more broken, more buggy than they've ever been, and they have to do patches day one to fix their fucking game because it came out broken. And I know he's going to say fucking inflation and all this other fucking bullshit. I think inflation, to be honest, is just a fucking term that the industry uses to fucking jack up your prices. Okay, my paycheck isn't going any higher. My wages aren't going up. So why should the cost of my hobby go up? Explain to me that. Oh, these companies don't know how to manage their money very well. That's not my problem. That's their problem. Not mine. Not my concern. See, I'm the consumer. They want me to consume their product. They got to earn it.
Sell twice as many units to keep up with Pokemon. So in reality,
What? They have to sell twice as many units. No, they don't. Because they don't have an over-bloated budget. I can't. I can't. This dude is a fucking idiot. It's almost like it's not that hard to do your fucking research. The current Pokemon that is in development right now costs hundreds of millions. Or Pocket Pair only spent 6.75 million to make the game. So no, they can sell it at the price and make their money back. Which they obviously did. I don't know where you don't seem to understand that. I don't understand how it's so hard to figure this out. Or for this to wrap around your head. The fact that the current Pokemon games are, on average, costing this much, hundreds of millions, that means that they cost more to make. Because they're spending it on shit because they don't know how to manage their money, first off. Second off, it's because they don't want to produce a fucking proper product. And they want to hire all these voice actors and shit. Like, that's why that's where it's at. All they did in Power World, they don't have voice actors in Power World.
Scarlet and Violet sold like what, 30 million, I think, one of the best-selling Pokemon games ever. Power World would have to sell 6.
How about you do your research before you make a fucking video? Again, here, recent market data shows that Power World has now outsold every mainline Pokemon game with only the original Pokemon Red, Green, and Blue ahead of it. What is that telling you, dude? Like, if they keep going the way they're going, they'll even pass that. What? Please don't tell me this guy is just fucking stupid. I can't. Damn, you're fucking stupid.
$60 million units to make the same ROI. Essentially, they would have to sell twice as much to get the same amount of money back.
No, they wouldn't, because they didn't have an overly bloated budget. Do you not? How have you not figured this out? What? It's almost as if you make a good game and you concentrate on the gameplay and keep your budget low, you can make your money pretty easily. I don't know how he doesn't.
But when you look at the actual numbers, when you look at like how much Power World has actually sold, you realize that it's not even selling 40 million units. It's not selling that well.
Neither is Pokemon Fire. What? Pokemon Scarlet and Violet? That hasn't even made 40 million. Neither has the original 3 Pokemon games. What are we doing here, dude? How is it that every time I watch your content, I have to sit here and scratch my head because you do no research before you fucking go into it, and you just upload it. You say, oh, here it is. It's done. It's good. It's uploaded. And, you know, if you didn't do this, I wouldn't have people. If people that did that, I wouldn't have anyone to make fun of on my fanboy stream. So I guess I wouldn't have content. I guess you can keep doing it. We'll just keep making fun of you.
At all. In order to create the illusion that Power
Fucking coping
World was outperforming Pokemon, Pocket Pair released Power World for $30. They conflated their player count with their sales numbers, right? So
no, they didn't. Just like the Steam charts. I don't understand how that's so hard to understand. How is it so hard to look at Steam charts?
people pay for the game on Steam and then share it with their friends. Okay, you know that.
And you got a problem with that? Who cares? You don't share your Nintendo games with your friends. You don't share your PlayStation games with your friends. You don't share your Xbox games with your friends. I've done all these things.
Boost the player numbers without really boosting the sales. Okay, they have situations like people.
The sales speak for themselves, dude. Do I have to bring up the fucking sales thing again?
Trying the game on Game Pass for a couple of minutes, that counts as a player, right?
Yeah, it does. Like, what the hell, dude? Do you not understand how those player counts work?
Like, players are not the same thing as sales. And I think this is what people don't understand.
Yeah, that is true. That's just because people will buy the game, put it in their back catalog, and just play it when they want to play it. That's how PC works. I've got over, what is it, like 2,000 games in my Steam library. In my back catalog, like almost 3,000. Like, what are we doing here, dude? Like, the point has been made. Like, I've got friends who are currently playing this shit. Playing this game. Like, dude, you're losing your argument.
And that, like, if you compared Pokemon players to Power World players,
there's only one Power World game, and there's fucking, what, how many goddamn Pokemon games? That's not even a fucking comparison because you can't use it as a comparison. You'd have to use the most current Pokemon game against Power World to even be able to make a current, or like, a comparison. Okay? Because even I wasn't able to find anything on it due to the fact that there's a shit ton of fucking Pokemon games. Like, What? And I get they're not counting like emulation stuff like that, so they don't actually got the number. So again, what are you getting at?
The difference would be staggering. Okay. How many people play older Pokemon games or play stuff like Pokemon Go or like, even play like modern Pokemon? Like you're talking about like
Pokemon Go, you can't compare Pokemon Go to it either because it's a free to play game.
probably hundreds.
It's on fucking mobile. Why are you comparing a free to play mobile game to Power World? What's your? There's nothing to prove there. Yes, mobile games, free to play mobile games are going to do better than most PC and console games. Do you know how many people own a fucking smartphone? There's a lot. This is why Call of Duty Mobiles does so well. This is why fucking Elder Scrolls Mobile did so well. That's why all those mobile games did as well as they did.
Of millions of people. Essentially what we've been seeing with the Power World situation, in which we're seeing people give all these big, impressive looking numbers, but don't really give the context for it, right? For example, right now we're told that Power World is doing very, very well on Steam. It
is.
Has like what 900,000 players at once. It's supposed to be this big deal, but the simple fact of the matter is Steam player counts are not an adequate representation of how popular a game is.
What? I'm not doing it. I'm not going to bring up the user fucking base between Nintendo and Steam again. I'm just not going to do it.
Like if you look at how much Pokemon,
if you guys want to see it, you guys can go back and rewatch it. I'm just this dude's an idiot. Like I sort of
sells day one, it is very easy to imagine that Pokemon surpasses Power World's numbers pretty easily. And
it's not. The current Pokemon games are not. Are you not understanding this? We just pulled this shit up. I get that I'm watching something that already came out, guys. But every time I watch Harmon, he doesn't do the research before he makes a video. And he puts out the fucking video without doing the research and says, oh, there it is. That's good. That's perfect.
Also the simple fact, which is indicated even by the Steam players charts, that the player count has halved since the early access days. Like Power World has not hit 1 million units since 1.0 came out. The game is already running out of steam.
Not really. It's still like literally has been out. 1.0 has been out for like a week now, and it's still sitting 400,000 concurrent players, or 4,000 over 400,000 players at this moment, right now as we speak. Okay, well, let's actually update that. Okay, yeah, still over 400,000 players.
What seems to have happened, and I really do think this is true, is that Power World wanted to break into the TCG market. They wanted to produce the Power World TCG. And so they decided, okay, we're going to release Power World 1.0 in July, about a month before the TCG launches, and use that as a burst of relevancy to get our game talked about and to hopefully sell a couple of cards. Okay. Like that was their mindset on this.
Wait, is there a Power World trading card game? There is. That's actually fucking cool. Savage. Savage. That is fucking nasty. Oh. Power World, you're really okay. Pocket Pair, you guys are really fucking pissing off Nintendo. I fucking love it. I love it.
Is that 1.0 wasn't really a game. It was a marketing tool to try and segue into like another thing, to try and break into the TCG market. And I immediately saw a lot of YouTubers try and say that Power World was going to like be bigger than Pokemon's TCG, that it was going to be a huge hit, that they've already printed like 3.5 million cards.
Literally, there was nothing on it. They never announced anything on it. I don't know where you're getting this information because I literally just found out about it. And I follow Power World pretty closely, so I don't know where you're getting this information. Yeah.
Or something, and like tried to make that sound like a huge success when, like, I don't know, Pokemon prints like 10 billion cards a year now. Honestly, like Power World has a long way to go before it would ever compete with Pokemon. And that's always been like my mindset when looking at this, right? It doesn't really matter how much money Power World pulled in or how popular it was with certain demographics, because the long and short of it is it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't going to stay relevant long term. And this was
30 million sales. You're telling me 30 million sales isn't sustainable or relevant? Jesus Christ. You do realize that they make all their money on Steam right now. So I think they once they make, I think it's like 1 million or 100,000 copies. I think it's 100,000. Once they make 100,000 or 100,000 or a million on Steam, they get the full money. This means they're making a lot of fucking money right now.
was very evident by simply looking at the discourse around the game and the culture surrounding it. Because good luck finding anybody talking about this game at all who doesn't
You're obviously talking about the game right now.
Who doesn't bring Pokemon into it. The only reason this game is discussed at all is to try and destroy Pokemon and to try.
Pokemon did that to themselves. I don't know how you don't understand that. It was Pokemon who decided to do all these fucking patents. It was them who tried to go with the lawsuits. That was all Nintendo. No one has anything with Nintendo has no one to blame but themselves for that. Like, I don't see how you don't understand that. Like, Nintendo's pissed off that this game is doing well. You're pissed off that this game is doing well. Yet the main reason why it's doing well is because it pissed off fucking Pokemon. I'm almost positive it wouldn't have done as well if it wasn't pissing off fucking Nintendo. Nintendo is the reason why this game did so well. And it all comes down to the fact that what they proved to everyone is instead of competing, they rather just do lawsuits. You know, the same lawsuits they do to anyone who emulates their game, even though it's legal in most countries. And remember, PlayStation tried to fight it back in the day, and they lost.
And like weaponize it against Nintendo to try and make Nintendo look bad. That is like the entire culture around the game summed up very easily, is that it's not actually an entertainment product. It's just something that people can weaponize against Nintendo.
At the end of the day, it's still an entertainment product. Dude, you're a fucking idiot. Like, I don't see how you don't see how fucking stupid you're sounding right now. Like, I doing this as long as I have and covering these fucking fanboys, you're sounding dumber and dumber every time you open your mouth and speak. Every time you make a fucking video. Like, I swear you couldn't make a dumber video and then you go ahead and make a dumber video. You're the only one I know who does this stupid shit.
And the Pokemon Company. To put it very simply, Palworld has no real identity of its own. The entire appeal of it is being some dark and edgy version of Pokemon for like internet tryhards. It has no.
How about the fact that it's actually a fucking challenge? I could beat the Pokemon games within what? I can definitely get it done within 60 hours. I've done it multiple times. Palworld, you absolutely cannot beat in 60 fucking hours. There's no way. Game's too big. Like the last Pokemon game I played Pokemon Sword. I beat it within 30. Like I beat the entire game within 30 hours. I was not impressed. I was actually pretty pissed. Okay, because when I buy a $60 fucking game, I expect to get $60 worth of a fucking game. I didn't get $60 worth of a game. I got $30 worth of a game. And then the one per company who's actually making a game that's worth that kind of money only charges 30 because games shouldn't cost 60. I don't.
Real like gameplay loop. It's not involved. It's not like fun or interesting. All the people who have tried to say it's like, you know, way more crazy and intense than modern Pokemon clearly hasn't like spent any amount of time with Pokemon at all. Like,
I'm a fucking millennial. I grew up with Pokemon my entire life. It has been around. I've watched the TV shows. Hell, I still once in a while, when I'm in the mood, will watch the TV shows, the anime. Okay? But I'm telling you right now, the current Pokemon games have sucked. This is coming from me. Okay? And I've played many different Pokemon games.
it's just very, very self-evident that like anybody shilling for this like doesn't understand what they're talking about.
So you get mad at people for shilling for an independent studio while you're shilling for a multi-billion-dollar company. I don't know how you don't see this. Like the rest of the world or everyone else who watches you and makes fun of you sees you as you are. And that you go at others for doing the thing you're doing. Only difference is people are parading this game around because it's a good game. That is the huge difference. Okay? Palworld is, in a lot of people's opinions, and this is even coming from a buddy of mine who passed away about a year ago, like, Palworld is what the current Pokemon should have been. Like, that's just how it is. What the current Pokemon game promised and what it delivered on were two different things. I know people who've played it. No one's praising that game. Except for fanboys. My buddy, who's a huge Nintendo fan, doesn't even praise the current fucking Pokemon games. Like, you know, maybe one of these streams I'll bring them on. when we make fun of your ass. Because even he understands where Nintendo is fucking up on. Like, you defend this corporation blindly. He even said how the Switch 2 launched was poor, was bad. Granted, he still ended up buying a Switch 2. That's just because he's a Nintendo guy. Okay, and you can't play Nintendo games except for through Nintendo consoles. Like, there's a reason why he bought a Steam Deck over the Switch 2. And I'm pretty sure the only reason why he bought a Switch 2 was for, what was it? They got a new, they got the Zelda remaster coming out. Or for the Zelda remaster. Ocarina of Time. Which, again, all that proves, or yeah, that proves my point still.
So what I think is going to happen in the next couple of months, first of all, the player counts are going to drop. Okay, people are going to finish.
Every game does that. Player counts drop as games get older. That happens to every fucking game, dude. They hit the peak of when they come out, and then they start slowly dropping. This has happened to every single fucking game. Like, let's use Skyrim. Okay? I guess we really can't. Sold 17 fucking million copies. Single player game, I guess that really wouldn't work well. Oh. Well, we can use. Okay, we're going to use Evolved. Okay, Arc. Because it actually works for what we're talking about. So, we see here the Steam release. It peaked at 78,000. Then it had another peak again in December of 2017. I'm thinking that's a drop with Scorched or Rag at 86,000. Then it didn't peak again until November of 2018, where it peaked at over 106,000. Then it didn't peak again until 2020 at 157,000. And it didn't peak till its max until, I'm assuming, Genesis in 2022 at 248. And then it's just done this complete drop off. This is normal. I don't know how you don't seem to understand this. You want us to use another game. You can use the other art game. That will work. Okay. It peaked when it was launched at 98,000 and has completely dropped off, or has been dropping ever since. Granted, right now with Genesis, it is sitting at 49,000, so it is a higher peak than it has been. But this still proves my point. Okay. To my current game. Arc Raiders. Peaked at about 481,000 and hasn't been there since. It slowly dropped off. This is normal. This is something that just happens in the industry. I don't understand how you don't understand how the industry works. This is a normal fucking thing.
finish the game. There's not going to be a whole lot to do. You're going to see like a handful of people who are fully committed to playing the game, like continuing to play it for the next couple of months, and then it's going to trickle down to where it was before 1.0 came out. Okay,
Mhm.
the Power World TCG is going to come out. A bunch of grifters are going to leap onto it, trying to make it the next big thing.
Either it will get an update or another Pal World game will come out and then they'll peak again. That's pretty much what's going to happen. Pal World's in a different boat, like Ark. When certain DLCs and stuff drop, the player count will drop until the DLC because usually they beat the game and they wait until a DLC comes out to play it again. This is how all games have worked throughout time, especially on the PC side because we've seen updates since the fucking early 2000s. This has been a normal thing on PC for a long time. I remember many games that I've owned now that have launched DLCs, updates since the early 2000s, and that's really where I really got into PC gaming. So I can tell you right now that that's been a normal thing forever. They peak at once something comes out that everyone's excited for, then it drops off. I can't get the numbers for World of Warcraft because it's not on Steam.
It's not going to happen. Cards are not going to be valuable. They're not going to be in demand. Nobody's really going to care about them. And I think a lot of Pokemon TCG people.
Most card games don't do well. If it does well, then great. If it doesn't, then oh well. It happens. Okay? The thing is there's so many other card games out there that they have a big uphill climb. Okay? I don't get how you don't get that or understand it. But as a company who is not publicly traded, so their investors are themselves, they have a very big uphill to climb. Because you've got other card games, you've got, yes, Pokemon, you've got Magic the Gathering, you've got Yu-Gi-Oh, you've got baseball cards, you got football cards, you got basketball cards. The list goes on and on. So because there's all these other card games, they're going to have a big uphill climb. There was another card game that came out years ago now, but it completely dropped off. I don't remember the name. Let me read. Okay. You got Hybrid Gates, Wyvern, The X-Files. There's an X-Files card game. Star Trek, Chaotic, Digimon, Middle Earth, Animeon, Mayon. I remember that one actually. And Illuminati World, Mega Man, Doom Trooper. They still didn't give me the fucking card game I'm looking for. So it was a game that was very similar to Pokemon in quite a few ways. I'm not finding it. Beyblade's coming back, so that doesn't really work. The hell? Oh my fucking god. It's gonna take all day fucking finding this shit now. Oh. I'm not finding it.
Are going to look at the artwork and start noticing that like how generic and basic it is compared to the Pokemon TCG, because this is an issue that like a lot of people don't seem to understand, is that like the criticisms toward the Pokemon games exclusively revolve around the video games. Okay, like it doesn't extend to the anime, it doesn't extend to the merchandise, it doesn't extend to the TCG. Okay, the idea,
as far as I know, there isn't an anime for Power Realm. So again, you point
that Power World is gonna just beat the Pokemon TCG is insane. Like, especially considering like the Pokemon TCG is such a huge thing right now. Like, it is like in right now. People love Pokemon. So like the idea that Power World could ever outperform it or like any of the other TCGs that are out there is just like insane and makes no sense. So like the Power World TCG is gonna flop. It's gonna be a disaster. Stores, I imagine, are gonna like stop stocking them very quickly. And then we're gonna see a result of the lawsuit. And I think it's too early to say like where it's going to go because I don't think it's going to be particularly favorable to either party. Because from what I imagine, what I see, what I'm seeing is that considering Sony's involvement in the Power World case, I think it's very, very possible that Sony is going to leverage the courts to like rule in favor against Nintendo, even though Nintendo is completely in the right. And
No, they aren't. I don't know how you think they're in the right. No one else thinks this. Well, except for the fanboys, which is a small number. No. All Power World did was show everyone how greedy they are and they don't want to compete. They tried to patent things that had already been made. That they did not create or come up with. They just wanted to patent it to try to stop Power World. They wanted to use every mechanic that they have in a video game to go after Power World, that Power World uses. That is what ended up happening. The problem is, like, let's say writing them out. That was one of them. You know how many games have come out where you write them out? Like, that mechanic has been in video games forever. Oh my god. Guys, this again is one of them. So this is one of the things that Nintendo tried to get a patent on. And that's writing a mount in video games. And the first time it ever happened was on Odyssey back in 1980. After that, Ultima 1, The First Age of Darkness, 1981. After that, it was Final Fantasy 2 in 88, and Just in 1982. So again, this is what Power World was, or what Nintendo was trying to do with these patents. They're trying to control the market, and I don't see how you see that as a good thing. How can anyone see a company controlling the market as a good thing? Like, I don't get how you don't seem to understand this shit. And that's why people make fun of your ass.
this really should never even gone to trial. Sony like could do that, but like Nintendo's completely in the right legally to take this shit down. So again, it
No, they're not. They tried the same thing with Digimon and lost. Why are you so against Nintendo competing? Like, I don't understand how that is a good thing for you. You're a consumer, right? You want to be given the best product, right? Why would you not want Nintendo to have to compete? You know what happens when competition happens, right? You get a better product. Oh my god.
could go either way. We'll have to wait and see. But like at this stage, I don't think it matters what the actual court result is because the simple fact of the matter is.
Oh my god, it's almost as if he I can't. This is too fucking easy, dude. Oh. Nintendo versus Pocket Pair. Did Nintendo win in court? Nintendo did not win a decisive court ruling in its patent lawsuit against Pocket Pair, the developer of Palworld. The case, filed in September of 2024 in the Tokyo District Court, alleged that Palworld infringed on 3 Nintendo Pokemon patents related to creature capture, storage, and mid-air mount switch. As of mid-2026, the Tokyo District Court has not issued a final judgment. In September of 2025, Nintendo and Pokemon Company reached a private settlement with Pocket Pair. Pocket Pair agreed to pay undisclosed license fees, but no court-ordered changes to Palworld mechanics were required. No injunction. The lawsuit remains pending as of July 2026, with both sides having submitted evidence and arguments. Nintendo's aimed claims now target older versions of Palworld before certain mechanics were removed, making it unlikely the current game infringes. Legal experts note the case is not a clear-cut win for either side, and Nintendo may not recover its legal cost even if it wins. So instead of giving you guys a good product, they'd rather spend their money on lawsuits. This is Nintendo. Jesus Christ. Pocket Pair is actually winning. You realize this, right? There wouldn't have been a 1.0 launch if they weren't winning.
Is that Palworld is not as a desirable product. It's not going to remain relevant long term. And it's only talked about.
I disagree with you on that one.
Because of its association with Pokemon, because of the obvious blatant plagiarism.
There's no plagiarism in it. Like, I don't understand how you think that Nintendo came up with all these fucking ideas that they wanted to put a patent on. You do realize everything they wanted to put a patent on had been, the concept had already been in video games for years, decades now. So I don't understand why you think this was a good thing. Most of those patents got thrown out of the court. I think it looks like it's coming down to maybe 1 or 2. You kidding me? They're losing. And they're not going to be able to recover from the fees. I imagine losing to an independent studio and then having people like Carmen here defend those actions. Jesus fucking Christ. I will be back.
All my trucks got mud grips on my bars. On the top, got to see where we're going. Yeah, the party in the back might get a little muddy, but hold on, we gonna make it through.
Yeah, all my trucks got mud grips on them. Got the nittos on the 20s, man, they shining and glowing. Hit the gas in the diesel, see the black smoke blowing. Turbo screaming real loud, sound like a rooster crowing. My tires roaring like a lion coming down your street. With a big booty mama sitting right beside me. Chick so it when I take her down a back road. I need a pilot car just to warn you about the ride load.
All my trucks got mud grips on them like bars. On the top, got to see where we're going. Yeah, the party in the back might get a little muddy, but hold on, we gonna make it through. All my trucks got mud grips on them like bars. On the top, got to see where we're going. Yeah, the party in the back might get a little muddy, but hold on, we gonna make it through.
Yeah, party in the boonies, baby, everybody going. See the moonshine flowing, yeah, red mud throwing. We party in the woods in the middle of the night with the music playing loud like cars shining bright. Some dude getting drunk and he looking for a fight, so I hit him in the head with a can of Bud Light. Give that dude a blanket, yeah, tell him good night. Get back in the truck, hit the gas, take flight. Somebody said you needed a ride?
My truck's got mud grips on light bars. On the top, gotta see where we're going. Yeah, the party in the back might get a little muddy, but we gonna make it through. My truck's got mud grips on light bars. On the top, gotta see where we're going. Yeah, the party in the back might get a little muddy, but we gonna make it through.
Last night I drank too much alcohol. I text my ex-girlfriend and I said that we need to talk. She said that her restraining order's still in effect. Well, then I guess that means I still can't come over yet. Yeah, every time that liquor bottle hits my lips, I start drunk texting my ex-girlfriends, asking if I can see their tits. Then promise I'll delete the pic. And you know that I ain't right. When I drink on that Jim Beam, I might just ask you to touch.
All right, we're back.
And that's Power World's entire legacy. Okay, Pokemon.
It's their entire legacy, yet their entire legacy has been fucking beating Nintendo at their own game, dude. Like, I don't understand how you don't see that. Everyone else sees how this independent studio is literally taking it to fucking Nintendo. They're making Nintendo actually have to fucking work. Hey, I feel bad for you, PlayStation, your Nintendo guys. You know why? Because you know what's going to come out of this, right? Who do you think is going to pay for those court fees? Do you think Nintendo's just going to eat the cost? No. They're going to put the cost onto you, the consumer. Like,
Plagiarism. It doesn't really matter what the courts say or what happens after this. Like, it's just a simple fact that this is a knockoff brand and everyone can see it. You are, over the next several years, assuming this game isn't straight up shut down, is that you're going to see a slow, gradual decline in Power World's relevancy. Nobody's going to care about any of the Power World spin-off products. Nobody's going to care about any animated productions that get produced. No one's going to care about the merchandise, the TCG, or the video game.
Right? That is way too early to even tell, dude. Like, why are you saying this? Like, Power World has been on the scene now for 2 years. And they're still relevant today. And this is all because of Nintendo. Absolutely, that game would probably died off over time. Absolutely. That happens to most games. It's probably going to happen to Mecha Chameleon too. But at the end of the day, All Nintendo did was keep the game alive. Granted, that means Nintendo gets a W on that one. But they did it in such a terrible way as how they did it. Because what it did is it told everyone, hey, look at how greedy we are. Like, now everyone looks at Nintendo as they are. The greedy corporation that just wants to stomp on the little guy because they can. Like, I don't understand how you don't see that. On top of that, I don't understand how you don't see that as a bad thing. Like the rest of us sees that as a bad thing. They want to remove consumer choice and you're defending it.
Right. What you're going to see is a complete and total drop off because nobody cares about Power World. This has been very obvious from the very beginning, but right now we're in this weird denial phase where people genuinely want to believe that Power World is outselling Pokemon or that it's bigger than Pokemon or that it's more popular.
The game itself is
popular than Pokemon, and it simply isn't true. And honestly, I think after this entire situation, we really have to address the elephant in the room is that Steam is not a relevant platform. Like 900,000 players on Steam is jack shit compared to the average Nintendo release. Like that's just the reality of it. There are so many Nintendo games that I know have higher player bases than that. And yet like we're supposed to believe it's some like monumental milestone that like Nintendo could never top. It's
a milestone by an independent studio. And that's where people are talking about it for.
It's just ridiculous, okay? Like, it is downright insane how we have to keep going through this song and dance where we have to keep pretending that Steam is some relevant thing. If Power World is the best game on Steam, then Steam is the home of a plagiarized knockoff product, okay? It is cheap Walmart brand, GameStop tier bullshit. Okay. And I do think that
no one tell them how many AAA games come out on Steam.
It's how we should view Steam going forward. They're not a video game production company. They are the equivalent of GameStop. They are not
they're a storefront with a very good consumer policy. They're a pro-consumer company. Like, there's a reason why everyone parades Steam around like they do. Is because they put the consumer first. I'm not going to say they always do that because obviously I can think of cases as of recently even where they haven't. But in most cases, they want to give you the best service possible. How many of these digital storefronts are doing that? There's only two I can think of, Steam and GOG. The others, and now Xbox is trying to get better at it too. But outside of that, there isn't anyone. Well, HIO might be different, but
competing with Nintendo, Microsoft, or PlayStation. They are competing with GameStop, with Wall.
That's why Xbox is following their MO. Xbox took a look back and said, how is Team being so successful? And now they're implementing their own thing into their service. That is why. You know, Microsoft has already said that because of Valve and because of Steam has put a damage on Windows. Granted, Microsoft has been doing that on their own for a while now, but because of SteamOS and what Steam has done with that operating system, it's taken a huge chunk from Windows. You gotta remember there's a hardware that is still relevant today that can run SteamOS but cannot run Windows. because of all the unnecessary bloat, because of the requirements, things like that. That is what people are trying to tell you guys. Microsoft isn't competing with PlayStation or Nintendo. Their focus is on Valve.
Walmart with retailers that sell video games. Okay. I don't know what's so difficult to understand about that. What video game developed by Valve have you bought? What hardware developed by Valve have you bought? And don't try and tell me that the Steam machine is going to take the world by storm, because it's not. Just look at the price point. Like, again, if
no one ever said it did. The one thing Valve did is they didn't care about the price point too much, and it was because they wanted to get SteamOS out. It was just a catalyst. Because then they launched SteamOS for other computers. So you could take your USB flash drive, put SteamOS in it, put it on your PC, and use SteamOS on your computer now. That is what the rest of the PC guys are telling you. Like, we're the ones that are in the fucking thick of it. We understand exactly what Valve's playbook is.
Our World is your big epic W for the year. You really need to sit down.
Not even. Oh my god. Capcom literally just said that half of their money that they made was from PC users.
And think about your life. Okay. If this is the best thing you got, if this is going to be your big game of the year player, you really need to reevaluate your life going forward. Like, this is a complete joke. Steam is never going to become a thing.
I can't. Did you change your background because you got sick of people making fun of your background? I'm doing it to myself again for you guys. Here he says YouTubers deny Palworld's failure. I'm sorry, no one's denying anything. People acknowledge that Palworld is not a failure. But let's get into this.
It's kind of crazy how the average YouTuber is damage controlling the Palworld situation. You have guys coming out and trying to say that, like, oh, they almost got 1 million players with 1.0, you know, which is half the amount it got in early access, right? And it's dropping all the time.
Okay. Again, we just covered this. Then again, I'm watching this after it already came out.
It's very clearly dropping every day, and yet we're still in this weird phase where people think this is going to beat Pokemon. This is going to be a cultural phenomenon.
It already has beaten the Pokemon games. The only ones it hasn't beaten were the original 3. And if it keeps going the way it is, it might actually beat them.
Is going to be the next big thing. And it was just never going to happen, but
it was. Again, you're downplaying something. What you're doing is downplaying the facts. You're trying to twist something into a gotcha. You're coping so hard because of how well Pal World has done. It is fucking sad.
What's really strange is just how the YouTube community is moving in lockstep to try and push this idea that Power World is this huge success. And I do think
It is a huge success. How do you not see that?
like it's pretty much only the YouTube grift community that's doing it. You know, it's people like Asmongold, Clownfish TV, Endymion TV, like a handful of other people.
Asmongold, he pulls more views than you did.
Like Fratanga, like there's a lot of other people. There's a lot of people coming out saying that like Nintendo lost the lawsuit, that Power World's better than Pokemon, and that like Nintendo's days are numbered. I even saw some weirdo come out and say that like Power World was gonna do
Nintendo's days are numbered, dude. Okay, Nintendo needs to realize that if they want to compete, they need to compete on a service level. The console wars are over, dude. They've been over. We're heading straight into a service war rather than console war. That is over.
better with the TCG than Pokemon. Like, oh, they've already sold 3.5 million cards. It's just like it was just like a
For a small company, that's pretty impressive, actually.
figure that was shipped to retailers. For comparison's sake, Pokemon ships like 10 billion cards a year. So
You are literally comparing a multi-billion-dollar company to a company that's probably not even worth. Oh God. So you're comparing a multi-million-dollar company to a multi-billion-dollar company. I can't. Dude is fucking stupid.
Power World has a long way to go before we even like scratch those numbers. But like we're just in this weird like situation now where people are like blindly believing these YouTubers and these clickbait headlines and are like vastly misrepresenting like the actual situation. Like what we're seeing is a complete misrepresentation of what's going on in the community. Everybody is bending over backwards to push the narrative that Nintendo has failed, that the Pokemon Company has been embarrassed, that the lawsuit
They have. They have absolutely been embarrassed. Fucking Pocket Pair made them look bad. And Nintendo did most of it on their own. But
has already been dismissed when the court case will not be resolved until October, right? Like you just have all these people acting like they've had some huge epic W, and it just isn't really true. I went on YouTube today, looking at like the numbers. I was looking at like the YouTubers covering the game and like how many views they were getting, and it's like it's very self-evident if you do that, just how much more popular Pokemon is than Power World right now. And there's not even really like a major Pokemon product out. But like, I was looking and I saw that like Pokemon related media was getting way more attention than Power World.
as it always will right now, as it does. Again, you're talking about a franchise that has got decades on its fucking belt compared to a game that's only been out for 2 years. What are we doing here, dude?
Related media. Like, and again, that's just very obvious simply by looking at the trends, looking at the numbers, looking at like the tweet and retweet thing. I saw Fratanga try and say that Power World tweets were getting more attention than Pokemon tweets. So I went ahead and like compared the two, and yeah, that wasn't true. It was a lie. That's
Mm, 'Let's use this one. We got one here with 29 million views. $46,000. 200,000. You really don't do your research, do you?
just that's the issue. That's what we're dealing with here. Honestly, is that we're dealing with people who are brazenly
And that's thousand, not million. Where the Pal World had like 29 million.
blatantly lying about the state of Power World. But they are just blindly believing the numbers that they have been told without really fact checking them or asking where they come.
Really? Almost everyone does research. Most people do research before they make a good chunk of people. I'm not gonna say most. A good chunk of people do research before they fucking upload a video. You're someone who doesn't. I criticize you on this all the fucking time. You know this. I know you watch the content. Like, we all fucking know. Anyone who watches the channel knows you've mentioned me multiple times.
From. Like the 40 million player count total is coming straight from Power World. And you have people like saying that like that's bigger and better than any Pokemon release when they don't.
They have outsold most of the Pokemon releases, yes. I don't know how you don't seem to understand this. We pulled up the fucking facts. I'm not doing it again because it's pointless. It's like beating a dead horse with a stick.
Understand what 40 million players actually means. It's not the same thing as 40 million sales. Okay. Like it's remarkable how like we've gone through this like weird smokescreen of people just trying to gaslight you into thinking this game is like some major success, and it just hasn't been panning out. Like not
for an independent studio, absolutely is a success. I don't see how you're not getting it. Pal World has made more money off Pal World than the next Pokemon will. Like, I don't see how you don't see that. The rest, everyone else does. Next Pokemon game is going to cost hundreds of millions of dollars. Palworld will cost maybe $6, or closer to 7 than 6. But how is it that a game that only maybe costs $7 million to produce, you think is going to make less money than a game that costs hundreds of millions? That's why they're charging the price that they are charging on those games, because of bloated budgets.
At all. It's been very, very ridiculous. Very, very sad. And it is, I think, going to reach its natural conclusion once the player counts drop. And this is the thing that bothers me about this. And I know I've said this before. I've released statements like attesting this before, but like Steam player counts mean absolutely nothing. Okay.
No, because it doesn't say how many have been sold. That's why people tell you this. Even PC guys will tell you that, because there's so many Again, I've almost got 3 million fucking games in my back catalog. Or not 3 million, 3,000. Okay, you realize how many of those fucking games I haven't touched that I own? A lot. So at the end of the day, this is normal.
I am tired of acting like Steam is like the end all be all when it comes to like how successful a game is, because we've seen
It's the number one fucking storefront. Like, I don't. The reason why everyone uses Steam to compare numbers is because it is the number one storefront. It is the largest storefront.
time and time again that the Steam audience primarily rallies around meme games. They primarily rally around piracy. They primarily hype up nonsense. Okay, the PC.
If you're hyping up fucking piracy, you can get fucking sued to the fucking dirt. You realize this, right? So most PC guys don't do this shit. And we do buy our games. Like, again,
Master Race is just a bunch of plebs who don't know, who don't understand how much better Nintendo software and hardware actually is. And they'll
compared to a PC, not even fucking close. Jesus fucking Christ. Please don't tell me he's going to try to tell me that the fucking Switch is the equivalent of a fucking 5090. How many of these fucking fanboys have done this shit? PlayStation does it all the goddamn time, and they get proven wrong every time. Xbox guys don't do it anymore because they got proven wrong.
They'll go to any lengths to prop up whatever knockoff product they can come up with, whether it's like Wargroove or Shovel Knight or Hollow Knight or any of this slop. Like, again, it's kind of remarkable, like, how far they'll go to push their nonsense. And what we're seeing now is that we're increasingly seeing more people just start to question the statistics, start to question the narrative, because we've been told for years that PC is actually secretly the most lucrative gaming platform.
It is. So multiple studios are lying to you then, I guess.
But if you look into it a little bit, that basically just amounts to like microtransactions and like gambling and stuff like that. Like when it comes to like actual dedicated hardware.
Are you seriously using the fucking lawsuit with New York and Washington? You know there's other fucking games, including games on your precious Nintendo, that do the exact same thing.
And software, nobody does better than Nintendo, and nobody has in a very, very long time. But we're still going
service-wise, abso-fucking-lutely. Nintendo's one of the worst when it comes to service. Like, even PlayStation has a better service. I know I said it, guys. And that's saying a lot. And PlayStation service sucks. Okay, Think about it. The console that sells less, the Xbox, that sells less than both the PlayStation and Nintendo has a better service. PC, we have a better service due to the fact that we are an open ecosystem, dude. We've got multiple storefronts.
Going through this like weird song and dance where people seriously, genuinely believe like something like Pokemon can just be replaced by some random PC knockoff, and it just isn't going to happen.
No one's ever saying that Pokemon's going to be replaced. I don't know where you're getting this information from, dude. At what point has anyone ever said that Pokemon's going to get replaced? I haven't heard it once.
It just isn't going to be happen. And I do think this is like the main takeaway here is that this is the big game on Steam. This is the big dog. This is what like
Top selling game on Steam again right now is Counter-Strike. And next to it is Dota. So the big dog on Steam is Counter-Strike. It always has been.
the community rallied behind for 3 years. This is what they thought was going to kill Pokemon, and it's just not going to happen. Like that's just the simple reality of it. That in spite of all the glazing, in spite of all the worship, in spite of all the coverage, all like the attention, like the reality is this thing has fallen flat on its face, and it's
400,000 fucking player count does not say that it's fallen flat on its face. 330 million fucking 30 million sales does not say that it's fallen flat on its face. That's 30 million and climbing.
never ever going to get back up. Like it is, help, I've fallen and I can't get up. They're like hitting the life alert button. They're hoping their fanboys will come bail them out, and just nobody's coming. You know, like nobody's coming to save them. That's just the reality of where we're at right now. Is that we're seeing like the beginning of people like accepting that Power World is done. Like we're
It is not. Power World is not done. I hate to break your fucking heart. Like, I don't know where you think that it's done. I don't know where you're getting this information from, first off. Like, what?
we are in the denial phase where the fan base does not want to admit that it's over, that the game has had its shot. You know, it had like 1.0 came out, that this was supposed to be what was going to salvage the game, and it didn't salvage jack shit. Okay, like it is going to be a long, hard, quick decline going forward. They're never.
It's not been a quick decline, dude. It's actually been pretty steady. Like most games. Come on now.
Going to have another hit like this again. They're never going to be able to grift off of Nintendo. Hopefully, Nintendo is able to like better protect their brands going forward, because you know things. The mechanics they
better protect their brands. So you want them not to compete. You guys heard it here first. Well, he did it for you, but like, you don't want Nintendo to compete. If you did, you would want Power World to succeed, because Nintendo would have to do the one thing they don't like having to do, and that is compete. They never have. Like, I've got retro gamers who show up on my chat all the goddamn time who tell me how fucking bad Nintendo was. This isn't the first fucking greedy thing they've done. They've always hated competition. Because they're not good at it. They're terrible at competing.
patented are indeed mechanics exclusive to Pokemon and should only be used.
They're not mechanics exclusive to Pokemon, you idiot. Riding a mount is not exclusive to Pokemon. Throwing a ball is not exclusive to Pokemon. At what point do you think those mechanics are exclusive to Pokemon?
In Pokemon. What we're seeing now, I think, is just the end of an era. You know, the end of companies like Power World just being put on a pedestal. Like,
you said that years ago, and it's still here, and you're still talking about it.
Things like this will simply not be allowed to happen in the future, and I could not be more happy to see that be the case.
So again, you'd be happy to see Nintendo not have to compete. I don't understand how somebody wants Nintendo to fucking not compete for their dollar. Like, I've never... That man gloats fucking Nintendo like no tomorrow. All right, guys. We got our good old Dreamcast guy. Okay. So, supposedly he says Sony leaks that physical games are already dead. PS5 discs don't sell.
Hey there, gamers. Dreamcast guy here. Today we're talking about PlayStation because a very strange new leak has just come out. Now, it has officially been about 3 weeks since Sony announced the death of physical media. There's not going to be any actual discs whatsoever, either first party or third party. So it doesn't matter if you're buying Resident Evil, Ratchet and Clank, no matter what, Sony is not going to be making any discs from this day forward. I mean, they've already put a deadline in place. And what's really...
It's 2028. That's not a good thing. It's really bad for the industry.
Strange is that when they announced this, they claimed 95% of people are already only digital. There's just no physical games. And I did not believe it. I did not believe it at all. I just cannot imagine.
Don't believe it. Dude, come on now. Think about it. Fucking think about it. We just found out those numbers were not accurate at all. Because they only they counted for all digital sales, including the free ones. So they included in that free to play, demos, and what was the last one? Free DLCs. What? That's not proof of anything. That's things that only come out digital already.
Maybe it is the fact that obviously I was in the book business for 10 years. I've got a giant library in my house, essentially, of my whole book collection. I love physical movies. I love physical games. Well, the new leak that just came out about an hour ago is from Cersna, the people that track physical game sales, and it's bad. It's very bad. Apparently, it's not just that 95% of people are buying digital games, it's 99%. 7 games this year have sold 100,000 copies. 7 games. Most games that came out, even bestsellers, sold less than 10,000 copies. The biggest games in the world are already all digital. And I want to take a look at this because...
Okay, this is the way I'm looking at it. It's not that Sony is going digital, okay? And I've said this multiple times. It's how they're going about it. Okay, first off, we already know Sony has removed stuff from your library. The other thing is what physical games represent for the console market. It creates a competitor for Sony. So that's why you see sales on PlayStation. The only reason why there's sales on PlayStation is because they have to compete with Walmart, Target, GameStop, Best Buy, anyone who sells physical games. And including the mom and pop shops, and Amazon and Temu, all that. Where by going all digital, they don't have to do that anymore. Which means they control the pricing. It's not good for the consumer. terrible for the consumer.
It really does kind of shift my perspective and the fact that I still feel like physical games absolutely matter. I'm pissed that Sony is giving up on the idea discs because I do think there is something cool about it. Having something I can lend to my friends or an instruction booklet, something about this absolutely matters. And I am going to keep buying physical games until the time runs out. But Sony giving up feels like a giant capitulation to a future I don't want to participate in. But
okay, so you don't want to be a part of it, then don't give them your money. How you get them to stop doing what they're doing is you don't give them your money. Hurt them where it hurts. Stop buying the games. It's that easy.
let's look at the actual numbers and this leap because everybody is kind of saying, damn, it's worse than I ever imagined. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, in the last 20 days now, ever since July 1st when they announced this, Sony has been community noted on every single post. Everything they try and say.
As they deserve it. They absolutely deserve it.
Every lie they try and spin. Everybody is basically saying, okay, this is anti-consumer. This is a digital monopoly. Eliminating physical media is something that's just trying to destroy competition. This is not the way that Steam works. It's not the way that any other platform works. This is purely PlayStation knowing they're so far out ahead, they know that they can screw you. And they're happy.
They're not. Steam beats them every fucking time. Okay, so at the end of the day, what it comes down to is they're just trying to control their market. And they're trying to squeeze every penny out of you that they can. So you know how you stop them? Don't buy the product. Stop giving them your money. Hurt them. It's not going to be Twitter posts. It's not going to be petitions. It's going to be where the bottom dollar.
To screw you. And it's interesting that there are even these new accusations that are going around that apparently a lot of these people trying to defend the all digital future have basically been revealed to be bots. So a lot of them aren't even real people. So
yeah,
it does seem like Sony is afraid of the backlash, but they have no plans to backtrack. They think that really they're trying to die down the amount of people saying sell your PS5. Don't.
I think I watched something recently. I just watched it today. I just remember who made the video. Yeah, so I watched RJT's video, and they're not panicking. It doesn't sound like they're panicking. It sounds like they're just, they knew it was going to happen, and that's why they knew that they were going to get the backlash they got. That's why I don't think they're going to reverse this. So, you know what you do? You don't buy PlayStation. Don't buy a PS6. Don't buy PlayStation games. Don't pay for PS Plus. Get a PC. Go to Xbox. Go to Nintendo. Play retro games. But do not give PlayStation your money because they'll just screw you. And that's sadly the way it is.
Buy the PlayStation 6, but they really don't plan on backtracking. They'll basically say, hey, yeah, you know, here, buy a disc drive while you still can. Buy our games physically while you still can, but this is, in fact, the end. Now, a lot of physical game collectors have even basically at this point started to beg and say, would you be willing to pay an extra amount? Would you pay, you know, $20 extra per game if it actually has a physical?
No.
Disc. Now, Nintendo has already sort of experimented with this. There is a thing where Nintendo games are technically cheaper digitally, but more expensive if you buy it physically. People are basically saying,
because of sales now.
Would you buy a $90 physical game to get these extra goodies? To me, I would. I mean,
no, I wouldn't. I don't think games are worth $90. What do you think the cost is for this stuff? For the disc, the case, and all that. It is not even close to worth jacking it up $10.
maybe it just is that collector in me, but I do think, especially like these nice special steel cases and stuff, I would actually pay for this. But it almost feels like a lost battle that we're trying to basically say, please, please, please don't stop the all digital future. But here's the numbers. Here's the leak. Data is showing the opposite of the physical media movement. Hard for a business to justify something that consumers have spoken with their wallet. Most games are selling essentially zero copies physically. Zero. I mean, literally, it sounds like 99% of the entire industry is already all digital. This is an astonishing statistic. Me calling the physical user base on PlayStation 5 vanishing small, maybe underselling it. Matt clarified this is all games from all publishers on PlayStation. I'm wishing my physical brethren the very best in their fight, but it ain't looking good. Now, look at these.
You know what you do? Just don't buy the fucking product. Go somewhere where they will actually earn your fucking dollar. Oh my god, I cannot fucking believe these guys. These fanboys don't realize all you have to do is speak with your dollar. Keep in mind, PC gamers made PlayStation do what we wanted them to do, not what they wanted to do. There's a reason why they no longer sell games on PC. Because over here, we're not fucking pay pigs. We don't just fucking buy whatever fucking slop a company gives us. We just don't do that.
Numbers truly beyond anything. This is like through the floor worst case scenario. I'm not even joking. I could not have imagined numbers this low. PlayStation, 2 PlayStation games in the last week have sold 10,000 units, which again, completely insane. 7 have sold more than 100,000 units during this entire fiscal year. Source is the Cersna retail tracking service. It's just so wild.
My brother who plays on PlayStation, he's not buying the next PlayStation. Like, I don't understand how you don't get that. The way to get them to reverse action is by not spending your money there. PlayStation is not earning your fucking dollar. They're just using you. Because they know they can get away with it, and they know you guys will just buckle. Like, they know how you guys act. They know that you guys will buy anything they produce. So they're taking advantage of you.
Commenting is cool, using your voice and all that, but commenting is cheap. I don't know. And a lot of people are pointing this out, right? I think, unfortunately, this is a great example that really highlights it. Black Ops 2 sold like 10 million copies, probably, maybe even 20 million copies instantly. It has 5 million active players as a digital.
Are those sales numbers just on fucking PlayStation? Mm-mm. 30 million across all platforms. So there is no exact. Okay, so it's 5 million on PlayStation. It's 5.25 million, so those numbers are accurate. But that tells you that most of them weren't bought on PlayStation, but other platforms.
Only game. The truth is, there's no real argument for Sony to keep physical going in the current.
It sold 6 million on Steam. So it's not even doing well on Steam.
Environment, even if I'd prefer them to do so, because it's just such a niche audience. And I guess that's like something that's so like, how do I phrase this? It frustrates me how accurate this is, right? If
It's not accurate. Like, I don't understand. Again, how many physical games are being sold compared to how many digital? The problem is the numbers are not even work together, because what PlayStation is saying and what the actual numbers are could be completely different things.
there have been 7 games that sold 100,000 copies, that means that literally, let's say, like all the biggest PlayStation physical discs of the year combined is 1 million copies. Literally.
Plus, not to mention, they did it by design. There's already developers saying that there wasn't enough being produced by PlayStation for them to get that many discs out, which means that PlayStation completely fucked up those numbers to make you think that that isn't what they make you think that that's what people want. They've done all this to control the market.
Really just that. That means the physical user base for the PlayStation, like right now, is smaller than a random hit indie game. It's smaller than a current just shadow drop of an old Black Ops digitally. It just shows the fact that as much as I love physical games, the battle really is that low. If an old COD can do those numbers, it's pretty clear where the average PlayStation gamer is on the issue. And a lot of people are bringing up something I brought up, which was the 2021 Insomniac leak, which is inside their own internal financial reports. They essentially said that everybody was buying physical games, that right now the skew for a long time, at least I guess 5 years back, it still was about 77% of people buying physical games, that people would still go to midnight launches or get that special edition. It was cool to do so. And I sort of see this is sort of signaling the fact that that data is outdated. I think over time we'll see those old numbers are just data points in time. It's better to forecast based on trends. God, cherry picking one slow week is not a, over time we'll see those.
Look at fucking J-Dub here. No disc, no buy. Is failing like a mother. People not speaking with their wallets sickness.
Those old numbers are just
fucking J-Dub. You're a fucking idiot, dude. Speaking of your wallet is a thing. Like, that's the only thing these corporations are going to understand, is if you speak with your wallet. Like, I don't see how you don't understand that.
Data points in time. It's better to forecast based on trends. God, cherry picking one slow week is not a good indication of how physical games are doing. Let's compare how physical games are when Crimson Desert was released, or let's say Resident Evil Requiem, which are admittedly 2 of the biggest games of the year, which not only were huge sellers on the PlayStation, but just giant sellers in general. When games are released physically at the time, it's 50-50 on having physical available, and that swing vote on what platform I'll buy it on. And I saw a comment somewhere down in here, but somebody essentially said that right now it feels like PlayStation, in a lot of ways, or a lot of distributors, are trying to make it purposely harder to ship you a game. They don't want to do it. I mean, they'd rather sell you a digital code. If you're trying to buy a game, somebody in the comments made the example of trying to buy Resident Evil Requiem. They bought it, not even the special edition, just literally a normal standard box. And they said straight up that if they bought it digitally, it's available, 10 p.m. the day before it comes out. Whereas if you buy it physically, sometimes it comes out a week after launch. And if you're trying to avoid spoilers or you really want to play a game, you've been excited about it for years and years and years, you buy it digitally.
PlayStation's built those by design. I'm being honest with you.
Just because that is where you play it day one. And I have to say that I find myself to be in a unique position, obviously, right? I am a YouTuber. I get a lot of review codes. I do a lot of game reviews. And I have a personal rule where if I love a game, I buy it physically as well, which is why I have such a big collection, right? Is I'll play it, I'll beat it, I'll experience it, I'll put out a big video, and then immediately I'll go on Amazon and I'll buy a copy because I like to be able to lend it out. I'll lend it out to some of my friends that are cheap. I'll send hey, here's a copy of Expedition 33. Here's a copy of like the Resident Evil collection. I think that double dipping to me, it's very, very necessary. But I understand that 99% of people aren't going to do that. But this to me, I just never imagined that so many people now, I feel like they have to just be printing less discs and making it so the stat is more and more skewed in their financial.
Okay, you're getting it. You're getting it. Holy shit, guys. Put this on the marker. Dreamcast guy might actually be fucking getting it. Holy shit.
Financial favor. But I am just at utter shock. 100,000 physical units this year. Like for 7 games is so bad. I assume that games were selling millions and millions and millions of copies. I guess they are selling millions and millions of copies, just not on disc. Does that still mean PlayStation is correct? I don't think so. I still think there is a necessity to physical goods, to having a.
Yes, on console, it absolutely does. And the reason why I always say this is because that creates a competitor to the storefront. And a console that is a closed ecosystem, you can't take, it's a closed ecosystem. So when you buy a game through like the Xbox store or the PlayStation store or the Nintendo store, you only buy it through that store. You can't go to a different storefront. You can't do that shit on console because it doesn't exist. You only have one storefront on those consoles, and that's where the problem lies.
Disc to having that competition of, hey, now a store itself can mark it down. I still feel like disc drives absolutely matter. The complete abandonment, the like total annihilation of physical goods, I don't think that's the option. Even if the market is shifting that direction or has already shifted that direction, this just doesn't seem like the correct choice either. God, I have to admit this is depressing in a way that I didn't expect. It almost feels like I was.
Okay, well, put that on a marker that Dreamcast guy is actually fighting back against PlayStation. Surprise, surprise. I like it. I like seeing it. I like seeing it. So the PlayStation Civil War is actually real. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to end this here. I hope you guys enjoyed this content. Whether you guys are watching this live or watching it as a VOD, I don't care either way. Thank you for the view. Thank you for those who joined in and were in the chat. I appreciate you guys very, very much. If you guys would like to contribute, you guys can subscribe on both Rumble and Twitch. And then if you guys would like to see more content, you guys can follow on both Rumble and Twitch. And then on YouTube, you just subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for joining us. And until next time, stay frosty.